Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, DRF.com. Formulator race of the day for Friday, December the 9th, race number 8 at Laurel. A good betting race, because take a look at this field. Even with 4 main track only runners, a giant field, wide open. Favorite might be 7-2 or 4-1.
Very good betting race. Weather looks like it's going to cooperate. I would imagine this one will be run on the turf.
Sweet Sandy comes down from your neck of the woods, Suffolk Downs, where she was claimed out of her most recent start on September the 3rd. I've got some nice trip notes for her back at Tampa Bay, April 12th, 2015, Parks, July 13th, 2015. And maybe while the Beyer speed figures are decreasing, she's slowly getting back to her best form.
She's going to need to get back to her best form. Recently, I questioned the field she's been going against, and strictly from a figure standpoint, she's just not fast enough.
Number 3, Game Girl, ships down from New York. Trainer Linda Rice, based, of course, up there. High percentage trainer, and Game Girl very consistent on the board, 70% of her lifetime starts. They made an effort to take her back off the pace last time out, and that might not be her game. It looks like she's the inside speed in this race if they decide to go.
It's also worth noting that most recent start, the runners 1 through 5 throughout the majority, they finished up the track. I think you're going to see her revert back to those tactics 2 back when she took the field gate to wire up at Saratoga.
Number 4, Sunrise Ruby might have the most upside potential of any horse in this race, coming off a local maiden-breaking score on November the 20th. Beyer speed figures are a little bit light, but at the end of the day, Beyers are all about projection.
She's going to need to move up in a big way if she's going to be competitive in here, but I just like the fact that she finally broke through. All 3 of her turf starts I thought have been pretty good. And really, you look at who she's been going up against. 2 back, you had 3 next out winners come out of that, including her. Then you go back to her turf debut. That was at Tampa, and Voluntary was that nice runner for Lyle Stables and Arnaud Delacour. I think this is an interesting filly in a field where I don't love anyone. Let me take a shot with a number.
3, Game Girl brings some speed to Laurel's race number 8, our formulator race of the day. The 5, Shirley's Curls, brings none. She's going to be coming from well off of the pace, but that loss last time out against condition claimers makes me wonder how she classes up in this spot.
Yeah, she's just been handled pretty easily in each of her past 2. I don't want her.
6, She's Dynamite's in very good form for Charles Hadry. Just missed last time out in a condition claiming race. Now, she's got speed, and I think if Game Girl's going to go, Game Girl has her outposted. Game Girl is faster. Can this filly sit and win, stepping up in class?
I don't think she can. You look at her entire career, whenever she hasn't made the lead, she doesn't win. All 3 of her, or both of her lifetime victories have been outright on the lead, and the 2 times she's been beaten less than a length, she's been on the lead and she just got run down late. I think she needs the lead. I don't think she gets it.
Number 7, Holy Scat, was claimed by a sharp trainer 2 starts back. And while she was off the board in her most recent start, her first start for Hugh McMahon, I'm not going to hold that race against her. I think 5.5 furlongs is way too short for her. She's going to stretch out to a more appropriate distance this time out. While she's consistent in the exact in half of her 18 lifetime starts, she's taking a pretty big step up in class.
Big step in class, and strictly from a figure standpoint. Right now, she's not fast enough. Now, maybe the new connection stretching back out, that helps her. She figures to get a good trip if you envision her in behind those couple speeds. She just need to get faster if I'm going to buy into her.
I had a whale of a time with this race, so give me the stranger. The number 8, Formby, trying turf for the first time for a very shrewd trainer in Arnaud Delacour. I like the Scat Daddies on turf, 14% first-time turf winners. The bottom of this pedigree, though, mostly geared towards dirt. She's a half to 2 weeks off, was graded stakes place going long. Look deeper in the pedigree, a couple of other horses that did some good work on the dirt. But this filly is still lightly raced. I like the slow, incremental stretch out in distances. I think she has enough tactical speed to sit a good trip. I'll give Delacour a shot. It's basically a Delacour play instead of a horse play.
Hey, you could do much worse than that in the Mid-Atlantic. You look at Delacour past 3 years, dirt to turf, sprint to route 4 for 16 with a 240 ROI. I'm with you. On top, the Scat Daddies on turf, particularly first time, don't have a problem with that. I couldn't find much on the bottom side as far as pedigree for turf is concerned. There is a decent amount of pedigree, it's just not for the weeds. But like you say, sometimes it's always an interesting sort of angle. Just take the new face.
7-2, a little bit light on the morning line. Wouldn't be surprised if she does get bet because of these connections. I need probably closer to 9-2 or 5-1. The 11 is Northern Eclipse, and maybe Northern Eclipse is slowly starting to get there. This one claimed from Arnaud Delacour off of a nice big win with blinkers off, but she had to drop in for a tag to get it done.
Visually, she looked great.
I agree.
You've got to keep in mind, though, like you say, I mean, she was facing just horses that pale in comparison to these girls. She's going to need to jump up. But from a Beyer standpoint, that is the highest last out Beyer in the field, or Co. anyway, with a 78.
Number 13, Medibemps, has won 3 out of her last 5 starts, so we know she's in good form. She is a Pennsylvania bred, going out for solid connections. That last Beyer, close to her career best, but she hasn't gotten much faster since her second lifetime start way back in May of last year.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, do you really believe off the little bit of a layoff is she going to produce a career effort, and not just by a little bit, by a lot, because that's what she's going to need in order to win?
Desert Princess needs a lot of things, I think, to fall her way. The number 14 doesn't have much speed, and in a big and bulky field like this, jockey Yomar Ortiz has a decision to make. Either go all the way around at some point, or you stay in, hope the pace is hot, and weave your way through. Either way, not ideal.
I think the best sort of idea or tactic is to just hope they throw it down early, because if you go 5-6 wide on the first turn, it's just not going to work. I also don't like when horses string together a few victories and then just go on elongated losing streaks. That's what this filly's done.
Number 15 is Hyper Nation, third last time out at Timonium in the fair on the dirt. Hyper Nation, I'm not sure she's a turf horse. I know she's been in some tough turf spots, but while she has a really nice pedigree, these Bernardinis just seem suited to dirt.
Only win thus far, gate to wire fashion, going 6.5. There's a part of me that wonders if she throws a wrinkle into this entire equation and they just try to send her to the front. If so, then maybe it makes things a little bit more dicey as far as pace.
You and I were discussing the 16 Daring Bride off camera, and she ran pretty well in her first start of a 2-month layoff, resulting in a career best Beyer speed figure most recently. She can easily move forward with that effort under her girth, but this post position, she's going to have to save some ground at some point, you would think.
Co-highest with the 78 as far as Beyers are concerned. Both of the two most recent starts, this one most recently off the long layoff, 2 back at Monmouth in September. I thought each one of them was fantastic. I hate the post. Now, you've got to keep in mind, too, you're probably going to lose at least 4 of these. All the MTOs, they'll go, so maybe it'll be 12, and if you lose 1 or 2 more, then all right. Yeah, look, I think she can still win even with that far outside post. I picked her second. In many ways, I think she's the horse to beat. If she had a more advantageous post, I probably would have put her on top.
Trevor McCarthy on the original overnight was listed on Daring Bride, ends up on Formby. I have to think Formby was the first call. All right, pick time. 4, 16, 11, and 3. You're going to go for a price.
Yeah.
You're swinging away with Sunrise Ruby at 15 to 1.
Really, it just came down to post position. I feel like if the 16 had a better post, if she was a little bit more farther in, I should say, I think she's still the horse to beat in this spot. I picked her second, depending on odds. She may even be the horse to bet. But Sunrise Ruby is one that I just kind of want to take a flyer and say, maybe the best is still ahead of her.
I'm kind of with you in downgrading Daring Bride due to post position. I hope it doesn't come back to bite us, because I picked her second as well. 8, 16, 11, and 5 for me in Friday's race of the day. And if you're betting Laurel's 8th on Friday from home, $100 worth of free bets, $100 sign-up bonus, $25 just given to you right away just for signing up. Try DRF Bets, risk-free this winter by signing up right now, drfbets.com/freebet. For more details. Approximate post time for race number 8 at Laurel on Friday, 4 o'clock Eastern. Best of luck.